Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Harpy Stitch. I'm Amy, and this is my corner of the internet all about cross stitch. It is August 11th today, Monday. I have 2 weeks before school starts. If you are new, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. I am at 251 subscribers, I think, so I've had quite the uptick. Thank you very much, all of you who are joining me. Just a quick update. The giveaway, the winner did reach out to me and I sent it out this weekend. So that is all good. Let me see. What else do I have to talk about before we get into it? I got my dental procedure done. Now I have to schedule some fillings. Oh, joy, right? It is exactly 2 weeks until I have to be back at school. Our first day that teachers have to report is the 25th of August. We'll have 2 full workshop days, a half day. There'll be some professional development in there. Excuse me. I did not have a crikey throat before I started. And then we get Labor Day, Thursday, Friday, and Monday off, and the first day of school will be like September 2nd, right after Labor Day. And I'm excited because during that time I will be attending the Rise of the Retreat, which is a Star Wars themed retreat, virtual one, hosted by the cross-stitch community, so Shan, Carol, and I'm not sure who else. And I think Shan's wife, Amanda, I think they're in charge, yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. Luckily, all of the Star Wars stuff is on Disney, which I have, so I will be watching a lot of Star Wars, and there's supposed to be some stitching challenges. Don't know what those are yet, so I don't know what I'll be working on. See, what else? NAMIWalks is September 27th, which reminds me, I need to put in a day off request, make sure I get that day off. It is the National Association for Mental Illness. It is an organization that helps people find mental health resources. They offer free classes and support for people with mental illness and caregivers. So I do their walk every year. I have a link below if you would like to donate. If you can't donate, please just share it. It's a worthwhile organization. And if you are interested, I will add this to my contact info. I've started a Ko-fi. I was sure of how to pronounce it before I actually put it on my channel. Now I'm not sure. I will probably be adding a store there as well at some point because Etsy's fees are crazy. Right now my Etsy store is on vacation mode because I'm trying to figure out what to do with it. But if you choose to donate, it'll help cover things like cost for shipping, for giveaways, or things like that. So if you can, I would appreciate it. If you can't, that's fine too. So I had a very productive stitchy week. I have 2 FFOs for you, 1 finished object, and several whips. So let's start with my first FFO. It is not perfect, and if you do not like cuss words, you might want to look away for the next few minutes. This I started at Frogworks last year for one of the prompts was a project with a curse. So I picked this one. It is from Subversive Cross-stitch. We were looking through a book. I got a book of Subversive Cross-stitch's stuff, and we were looking for one, and I found a few I liked, and I had my husband, because if I'm going to put it up in the house, I want it to be something we both like, and he didn't want any of the ones that sounded mean, so we picked this one. Excuse me. I had recently won a giveaway on Instagram from Black Dahlia Fabrics, so I used both of the things that I won from them to finish this. It is, so I'm going to show it now. It is Fuck the Dumb Shit. I worry about things, so my husband thought this was super appropriate. Sometimes I worry about things I cannot control. So It is on 14 count Ada, called Hungry Pigman, dyed by Black Dahlia Fabrics, and the thread is their Aliens Among Us species 83 61. I just call it goth pink. And then I got this frame. I wanted something very fancy and over the top because I thought it would be funnier with the sentiment to be in this really fancy frame. So this is a frame I got at Michael's. It's from the Jane Eyre collection. I thought about like doing a little bit of dry black paint to make it look, but I wanted the kind of, I'm not usually a gold person, but I thought for this one, the juxtaposition from the gothy pink and the gaudy gold and the sentiment would add to the humor of the piece. Oop, so I framed it in this, and I did this like 2 days ago, and if I'm going to show you the back. So I just took out the glass, and it is a little tight in the back when I folded over the fabric because I didn't take off this back piece, but I took some of my framing with tape and did the corners to add a little support. I'm not sure where I'm going to put this. I maybe would put it up here, but then I would have to warn about cuss words all the time. And it's really heavy, and I'm not sure how well actually it'll hold just fine. I did cut myself a little bit, just right on the tip of my finger when I was taking the glass out, but it's not 100% straight. I did take a framing class once, and I neglected to do the draw the line to make sure you're straight, yada yada yada. So it's a little bit, and I did get some blood on the edges that where it would have been covered by the frame, and I rinsed it, but it didn't. I did rinse it off with cold water, and these are apparently color fast because nothing ran. So just if you want to know, Black Dahlia stuff is color fast. I would still be careful, but so that's FFO number 1. Now my second FFO, I already gave to the person who got it, to the recipient. So it was for a former coworker of mine at Michael's who was lucky enough to leave Michael's. Sorry, I gotta open up my thing. So it was Queer Goth by the Witchy Stitcher. I had started it on May 15th of this year and finished up July 27th. It was just on some black 32 count even weave. I finished my curse project July and 2024 between like in a day, like from July 14th to July 15th. And I'm going to show you a picture on my tablet. I apologize. I'm trying to, oh, there we go. That's not too bad. So what I did is I traced the back of this. It's not even supposed to be a frame. It's a decorative piece. So I got it at Michael's. And then I tried making a little tablet. Now you will notice that this is a little bit longer than the actual design. And that's because the piece underneath, I was afraid if I tried to break off the decorative piece that I would damage the frame enough that I couldn't use it. So I basically made an enlarged version of that to go, and then I wrapped around here. I'll show you. This is what it looked like before. So I couldn't shorten my thing because then this would have stuck out at the bottom. So I ended up taking a piece of paper, just regular paper, and I folded it over the edges and did a pencil line and then cut it, and then it made it a little bit bigger. And then I had to make it a little bit bigger again, because if I didn't, the rainbow would day. But I think it looks really cute and it looks good in the frame. So it is literally wrapped around cardboard with a little bit of cushion and lining so that the fuzzy part, I didn't use thick foam, I just used a little bit of thin batting and stretched it around to protect the stitches, and then took some Aleene's super adhesive and glued it on the back, and I used some of this framer's tape on the back to make sure I held everything down and that the fabric wouldn't fray, and then I put a glue on top of that and stuck it in. So those are my 2 FFOs. I don't know what got into me. I like fully finished 2 things in a single day. And that took care of I needed to do an FFO for July and August. So those are done for Whip Go. And next I have a finished object. So if you follow me on Instagram, you've already seen all of these, but that's okay. Here is my finished object, beads included. So these beads were actually part of my haul. I accidentally ordered 2 of them, but if I do another small, I know that there are quite a few of the little Christmas things and just cross stitch that I could use the wreath and the snowflakes for. So this is Snow Day by Square.ology, which is a collaboration between, what was it? I looked it up. It's just another button company, and oh gosh, I put it on my Insta and I can't remember who it is, but one of the designers partnered with it. And what you do is that this is in pieces, so only a quarter of this is on the pattern, and then you turn it. I can't show you because that would be showing the pattern, but so my husband has a sled in our closet. Oh, sorry, it's warm in here today. And this reminded me of that, so I thought it would be cute to make a Christmas ornament with the sled. I have figure skated a few times, but it's not, I mean, I grew up in Texas. We went to the skating rink once or twice. Usually it was the roller skating rink, but occasionally the ice rink. And so this is on 36 count stonewash by Seraphim Designs. I started this on May 5th of this year, and I'm sorry I have to look because I forgot to write down when I finished it. I finished it, oh my gosh, on August 9th. So I finished this on August 9th, just a couple of days ago, and I finished it first thing in the morning. I almost finished it on the Stitching Connection Zoom. I had, when I got off the Zoom call for the Stitching Connection, the round robin that I'm doing, hosted by Jason Xstitches, I had one of the shoelaces, all I had left was the three of the shoelaces on the skates and the beads, and I just waited to do them until the next morning. But that is my fully finished. I have to figure out exactly how I'm going to finish it, probably some sort of flat fold ornament thing. We haven't had a Christmas tree in a long time, and I'm going to guess, oh sorry, it is warm in my house and I'm a bit sweaty. Excuse me. I'm shall we say, glistening. There's enough reflection in my glasses. We don't need it off my face too. Yes, I keep paper towels for emergencies on my couch between me and my husband's spots, so that if we need to, blow your nose or the food's too hot, we tend to eat on the couch. There's only the 2 of us. Why not? We don't have a dining room table. There's no room in our little kitchenette for one. And we have found that if we have one, we just end up piling crap on top of it, and then there's no room to eat on it anyway. So, yes, that's 2/2 6 colors. Super cute. Can't wait. And I have a new start this week. So I am participating in the Octopus Sal, the free sal by Unconventional Xstitch. If you would like to sign up for it, the pieces are in their monthly newsletter. The second part just came out at the beginning of August. School's about to start. I'm about to have to do some studying, not in college, but through independent stuff. So I started this. Not for any prompts. I just felt like starting. It's a baby start. See? Little tiny baby start. And I know that this color right here kind of blends in, but I figured that once the whole octopus is done, that'll look fine because octopi try to kind of blend into their environment. I started this on the 8th. It is on 32 count fabric, hand dyed by me. It was originally sky blue, so a little bit of the original color is peeking out. And then I took a couple of shades of Rit dye, and I followed their tip of like salt in it. And so this should be color fast. So that is the little teeny tiny start of the first tentacle. I am using the call for colors. It's just DMC. There will be 66 colors, and I'm doing it 2/2. And one of my goals today, in fact, I will have to take the hoop out, is to serge the edges of this. I have a lot of serging and stuff I have to do because I got another order for my Shawshank commission, so I'll be starting that later today. That was not planned, but I have to measure out fabric and make sure I have enough for at least one more before I get any more orders, and I have to put in an order with Rita Wren on Facebook. I think that's where I got it last time, which was actually cheaper than the source I had found than my LNS. All right, now to whips. Don't have a huge amount, but I do have a few. So this first one is Welcome to Camp Crystal Lake by the Witchy Stitcher. I started this on April 5th of this year. It's on 18 count oatmeal Aida. There's 10 colors and I'm doing it 2/1. So I got in some of this border here. I got in a bunch of the sky. You'll see I did not get in all those stitches. Yeah. So this is going to be a camp sign, like the camp sign you would see at the entrance to a summer camp. I went with this one rather than the one with the mask on his face. And I will be working on this one quite a bit. There are quite a few prompts that I don't have anything to match, and this is one of my Super Who options for the year for fandom, for my 25 for 2025. So the goal is on each of those to get 2,025 stitches. And I decided since this one was small and compared to some of my other ones, what I would do is I would use it for a majority of the ones that I didn't have a match for, all the ones that I didn't have a match for, and see how close I could get to finishing it, because it should not take long. But yeah, I love Witchy Stitcher stuff, and we're huge horror movie fans here. So there's that one. Then this matched one of my prompts for fandom this week. It was work on something with distinct parts. I figured the little boxes on this counted as distinct parts. This is Storybook Halloween Sale from 2021 by Stitchonomy. It was a free sale at the time. It was like the first sale I ever signed up for because it was free and it was Halloween. I started this on July 5th of 2023. You can purchase this now in her Etsy shop and on her website. It is on 14 count oatmeal Aida. I'm using a 12-3-10 for the border. There are 19 colors and I'm doing it 2/1. So since you saw this last, I finished up the mask's face here and did the background, and I finished Pumpkinhead here. I have not done the background in him because I had reached my stitchy goal. And that's Dracula, that's Nevermore. I'm not sure what that one is. That's Silence of the Lambs. That's it. I think this is the last house on the left. And that's some sort of creepy corn scarecrow thing. I really should find a list of it. In the patterns, it does not tell you what they are. So I always forget. All right. Next is Halloween Quaker. You will notice a lot of spooky themes in my stuff. If you aren't a spooky stitcher, oh well. Stitch what makes you happy. I'll stitch what makes me happy, and we'll all just get along. All right. So this is my progress. I did quite a bit. I had a couple of prompts that matched this one this week, including it had a vegetable on it. Pumpkins are vegetables, at least for the purpose of this. Quakers are deceptive. It's all spaced out. It looks so light and flacy and everything like that. But like, I swear there are 1,000 stitches in just this motif alone. I am doing it 1/2 on 40 count Newcastle Linen Murky by Picture This Plus. I won this from the Floss Boss and Cousins. It was partially started, but the light, since I didn't get the thread, the dye lots didn't match, so I had to pull everything out except for this. So this is Christy from Floss Boss's Cousins stitching here in this little black one. And then I had been wanting to do this, and her giving that away was just the perfect opportunity, because I was not at a place where I could buy the stuff I needed for this. So it is think that's Blackbird or Black Coffee. No, that's Black Coffee. It is very subtly variegated, but I am doing 1X at a time and working my way around. I can't wait to get to the witch's hat and experiment with the purple's a little bit more easy to see the variegation, so I'll have to do some experimenting. This is only my second time doing a project in variegated floss fully. Sometimes I'll do it as an accent, but so I'm working on that. So far, I'm just using the called for. All right, next is Raven Moon. This one I've been obsessing over. So I've actually been using this for a monthly, so I met one of my monthly goals in August for fandom already because it required 600 stitches in black. I am, like the 310 that I have, the thread is not all equally thick, so you'll notice there's a little bit of a light spot. But once you pull it back, nobody will notice. It'll be fine. This is designed by Elizabeth Spurlock of Saving Grace's Fine Needle Arts. I started this on August 8th or August 3rd of this year. I am now working back up in the moon to do another 400 stitches for the monthly. I worked my way around this way. I wanted to make sure that everything met up properly. And then I was having trouble counting because it's such tiny and it's dark last night. So I took a break. And then I'm going to come back up here and work on filling in the moon. So I need 400 more stitches, or not, I'm working on a prompt for 400 stitches. So, but this one is not going to take long. I just need to fill in the moon, and then there's a little bit more of the branch and then the raven. So this one I don't think will take me long at all, as long as I work on it. It is on 36 Count Pumpkin King by Atomic Ranch Fabrics. I was not sure about this at first. I was afraid that the fabric would be too dark for these light shades, but I think it will be fine. Whatever peeks out, I think just will add to the moodiness of the piece. But once I get all the stitches in, I don't think that's going to be a problem. And this is actually part of the fabric, and I think when I get this branch in here, it's going to actually look kind of like it's the shadow from the branch a little bit, and like it's being thrown by another branch, which I think will be cool. I was going to cut this before I started, and then I'm like, nah, I'm just going to start. And so I think I might wait until I'm done and just cut it out. And then I might do Midnight Ride over here. But I think it's looking beautiful. I am doing this for Adelaide Stitches Orange Fabric Halloween Sale. So it is looking awesome. I cannot wait to continue on with that. My eyes just needed a break. They were having a hard time counting last night, and I'm like, I need to stop trying to count, you know, because on the tiny things with the dark fabric and the model, sometimes it's hard to see where the holes are, and I was like trying to skip around, just use up certain colors so I could be done with that color. And then what would happen is that I felt like I was getting off like one half stitch. And so I'm like, no, I need to go back up and fill in and then do it that way so I don't miscount as easily. So, but I think it's looking great. All right. That was Raven Moon. Right, give me a sec. I'm going to take a drink, and we only have 4 more. Whips to go. Alright, next is Letters from Hogwarts by Cunning Crossstitch. Sadly, this one is no longer available. It is one of his Stitch Your Own Adventures. It is on 32 count but stone gray Belfast linen, and it's 44 colors. I started this on August 24th, 2023. What I completed this last time was this owl. I think I needed something with an owl or a train. No, this one was for a train because I had to... Let me open it wide for you. Whoop. So I've got the entire top part done. I am still going to go in and backstitch the wand a little bit because it blends into the swirlies in itself really bad, and I want you to actually be able to see the shape of the wand. You roll for what the shape and the color and what wood it is, and based on the wood you get 2 colors. And then when I was working on it. This is going to be the border. So the border is kind of like, they look like the edges of parchment paper, and then at the bottom there'll be envelopes for like your letters from Hogwarts. So some good progress on this. All right, let's see, what else do I got for you? All right, next is Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow by Carriage House Samplings. I was so excited to start this. It was not one of my original plan starts. I'm not getting any credit for my 25 for 2025. Oh no, wait, it was. It was, because I went and bought this for my birthday. I went and bought the fabric. Or no, wait, I don't think it was, because I didn't have fabric for it, so why would I have made it one of my 25? But I started this on May 26th of this year. It is on 40 count Inca by Fox and Rabbit, and it has 42 colors. This fabric, I am so in love with it, and this design. I've been wanting to do this one for years. So I got in some more of the building, and then the little snake. When I was doing this, when I was putting in the snake, when I looked at the colors, I was like, he's too bright. This green and the orange, they don't work together. But when you pull it back, you can barely see him. And I got a few more of these tombstones in, or partly in. So it is looking great. This is one of my favorites. So yeah, I am so excited. I don't have percentages because I'm doing it on paper. I made a working copy. I honestly, I know you can put stuff in, scan it, and then but then you have to manually put in all the colors, and I'm like not about that. So, all right, second to last whip for you. This is Wisdom by Hade, art by Cherry Gerhardt. I started this on August 11th, 2021. It's on 25 count Lugana. There are 86 colors. I'm doing it 2/1. This is a gift for my child to replace their baby stocking. I worked on this for about 3 days. I got just over 600 stitches in it. It is a bit stiff because the threads are so thick, because I'm doing it 2/1. But I've gotten to 10.17%. I still have 1 day of Whip Go left to do on this, because my Whip Go calls were this and Cliffhanger, and it was to do 2 days on them because my stitchy time varies so much based on my work schedule and how much I need to grade and all that, that I just did days, not counted stitches, and then whatever I get in those 2 days, because some days I might stitch all day on it, and other days I might, you know, just stitch on it for a couple hours. There was one day I stitched on this and I got tired of stitching on it, so I got like 58 stitches in, but I did get about just over 600 stitches. So I worked my way up here. This is part of the crest. If you look, this is the diadem, and then this is the raven here. This is the corner pointy end of his beak, and you can kind of see the outline of the beak going up, and then the crest itself, and then it'll go up again. So I have 1 more day to work on this month. I'm going to try to get it done before school starts. But I made pretty good progress. I don't even want to think about how much is still left to do stitch-wise. And this is just a stocking. Like, I can't imagine, like, this is missing part of the picture because I had them do it as a stocking rather than a full. But this is definitely a full coverage whip thing here. And then my last one, I had to take my car. I was having a tire leak, so I had to take my car in. In fact, I need to call about that and see if I can get some new tires. I will probably do that for right before school. And I wanted something easy on the eyes because while I waited. So I took my friend Elmer. He is a kit from World of Cross-stitching, one of the freebies you got. That's one of the sad things. I miss having the freebies, but I can get it on. I can get the magazine on Libby through my library, but I don't get any of the free little kits. This is designed by Fiona Baker. I started this on May 13th. 14 count Ada that came with it. It's 10 colors and it's 2/1. So that's what I got done since the last time you saw him. He's so cute. I know I haven't filled in his eyes, so you might find him a little creepy. But I'm on the last little block of purple, and then he'll just be attached to a little card when he's done that came with the kit. So those are all of my whips for the week. So I do have some haul for you though, or I have some haul for me. You already saw a little bit of it. And as I said, I did accidentally get an extra set of those, but I'm fine with that because they will work as embellishments for many things. So for the round robin, my group ended up deciding to do all of our own individual patterns. We just couldn't, nobody wanted to be pushy enough to make everybody choose what they wanted to choose. So we just decided to let everybody do their own thing. So I ordered my second ink circles. It is my first like mandala style. So it is ink circles, elemental dragons, the water ones. Isn't that gorgeous? So this is designed to be monochrome. I am not doing silks. Silks are way too expensive for me. So this is just the cover photo. But I had a vision. So I was going to do a different blue, but I changed my mind from the ocean one to stream. This is Fiber on a Whim stream. It is 32 count and it is 18. This is like a fat quarter. I will not need all of that for this. That's one of the things I need to do today is cut this, and I'm definitely going to serge the edges before I send it off to my things, but it is so pretty. Look at that. I love it. It's soft. It's beautiful. I think it will work well because, ooh, I didn't realize there was a rounded corner. I wonder why it's rounded instead of square. Anyway. All right. I had to fold it back up neat. So that is the fabric. And then my vision was that, sorry, I'm getting the other things out of the way. Instead of doing monochromatic, what I wanted to do is I wanted to do the seaweed in a seaweed color, so I picked Spinach by Classic Colorworks. It feels very seaweedy. So wherever there is seaweed around the dragons, that will be spinach. Okay. Then, so these are dragons, but there are animals that are like a variety of seahorses called sea dragons, and they come in all sorts of different colors. They come in bright reds, they come in oranges, they come in stripy black, they come in purple and yellow mixed together. They come in like a variety of colors. So what I want to do is, for each quarter of the design, and I'm going to make a working copy and divide it up for my team. The sea dragons will be like, the dragons will be colors that actual sea dragons are. So I'm trying Threadworks variegated thread for the first time. And these are the 4 colors that I chose because there are sea dragons that have these colors for real. And I thought we could each pick one to do. I think I'm going to do this one because this purpley color, I love purple. But each of these, so I'm going to have to experiment a little bit with how to do that so they don't get stripy. And it'll be, since it is variegated, it'll be 1X at a time. Or I might do I know you're not supposed to do fold over, but this is 32 count. I can do 2 over 2. It'll be okay. So then there, and then I have to decide, because there's these little tiny fishies. I have to decide what to do there, and then what I want to do the boat in. I think I'll leave the boat for me, but so that's these. I think it'll be interesting for sure. I was trying to decide if I wanted to do the same color in both of the seahorses, like that are intertwined, or have them be a combination of colors. That I will get to in a minute. And then there's the third one at the bottom. So we shall have to see. But I think that'll be beautiful. And then the other thing I got was some more Classic Colorworks. These are the colors I was missing for Halloween Quaker. So I've got smoke. Oh wait, let me pull this back out. I've got smoke, honeycomb, and lobster claw. Although, yeah, I guess some lobsters have claws that color, but it's a little orangey for me for lobsters. But I wanted to have those before I got too far. So that's my haul. Okay, plans. Continue my stitching challenges with fandom. I will probably not get as many of them done once school starts, but that's okay. Weekly and monthly. Sometimes I get the monthlies done, sometimes I don't. Orange fabric sal. Gonna keep working on that. Finish my August WIPCO, which is just one day left on Wisdom. Start my round robin this week, and I'm gonna start one more thing. Let me show you what I'm gonna start. I didn't grab it, but it's on the couch. So, I wasn't gonna start this quite yet, but one of my prompts this week is start something with Santa on it, or do something with Santa, and I finished my Santa projects. And I was already planning on doing this on the fabric I won from Fabric Flair. So I've got this navy Ada, and this actually does call for Ada, with white snowflakes on it, and these are supposed to be beads. So what I'll probably do is throw some beads on too. But this is called Reindeer Roundup, and I have made a working copy of the color chart that's in the book. And yeah, so yeah, 14 count. Although I hate when they choose 14 count and then half stitches, but they have a bunch in the snow at the bottom. These are all partial stitches on 14 count Ada. But they did. Oh, not all. I forgot. There's these. I needed some beads for my Emerald Mermaid, and I almost forgot my Snag Nabbit. So if you haven't heard of this, I heard of somebody's Flosstube. It is a little device that you take the pointy end. It's like a needle. If your thread's like kind of poofing out and you can't get it to go through, so you take this, you put it through the hole, and then these rough bits pull it in. You can also use this to repair sweaters. So it's not a single-use tool. So I have one of these now. I've been meaning to order it, and they're actually not expensive at all. Almost forgot the haul. All right, so round robin. Oh, that's where I put that. Orange fabric sal, orange fabric Halloween sal. I'm going into my classroom for a little bit tomorrow to get some things set up to kind of see. I'm in a new room this year, so I have to figure out where I'm going to put stuff. Maybe do a little bit of decorating because you never have time for that stuff. I have some other prep stuff to do, like getting images for vocabulary words set up, things like that. I have a course that I need to finish before school starts back up, things like that. Let's see. Things I've been reading, watching, etc. If you are just here for the stitching, thank you for hanging out with me, and I will see you later. I didn't write notes on this for this part, so be patient. We watched the new Jurassic World. Fun. Not great. There were some holes in it, but it was really fun. I mean, it's exactly what a Jurassic Park movie was supposed to be. If you're analyzing Jurassic Park movies really hard, you're doing it wrong, because they're just supposed to be fun. I am still listening to This Is Marsha about Marsha P. Johnson. I am almost done. I only have a couple hours left on the audiobook. I will probably listen to that today while I'm doing stitchy stuff. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Oh yeah, I think I meant to mention this before and I didn't. Horror movie that we watched was called Marshmallow, and it is set at a kid's summer camp. It is not an 80s slasher style horror movie. I am not going to say any more than it was very interesting. There was a twist that I did not see coming. So if you like horror movies, I really recommend it. There are some surprises there. Let's see. That's pretty much it. We've been watching a lot of Doctor Who. What else? Drop Out when we need something funny. A couple of episodes of 8 out of 10 Cats Does Countdown. Taskmaster when it's on, but we finished all the Taskmasters. So that's about it. I hope you have a wonderful week and enjoy your stitching time. And I hope to see you next week. Have a wonderful day. Let me know what you're working on. I always like getting comments. Please like, subscribe, ring that bell so you know when I post another video. Do all the YouTubey things. If you want to throw something in my buy me a coffee Ko-Fi thing, go for it. If not, that's okay too. I look forward to seeing you again next week and hearing from you. Anyway, thanks and so long and thanks for all the stitch. Have a great day.